Hey, John.
Eric, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Although
That's better than the alternative.
yeah, always
Yeah,
better than the alternative.
absolutely.
So, how was your week?
My week was pretty crazy. Wow. So got home late last week and had to catch up on everything that I did not do while I was gone on Friday, and then
Right.
Saturday was a big uh big day. My parents were in town. They got in town Friday night, and then we. I think I might have mentioned that we gave my son tickets to Panic at the Disco for his
Yes.
birthday a couple weeks ago, and so Panic
Uh-huh.
was Saturday night. So
And
it was awesome. I
did
mean,
you
yeah.
did he do Into
Did
the
I panic?
Unknown?
He did not.
I wonder if it's because he can't.
I don't know. I did listen to it though.
Isn't
Couple
that good?
times. It's good and it just highlights what a crazy vocal range he has.
I know.
Absolutely insane. To be honest, I don't know what the deal is these days. It seems like the last few concerts we've gone to, like we don't know who the opening act is. And I was even looking and I looked before this and it was, they gave me a list of like four people supported by and there were two opening acts for them.
Okay.
A guy named Jake Wesley Rogers, who was charming, and and
That's
okay, fine, yes.
phrased that way was interesting.
Well, he was like so. The Panic was good. The second opening was a act gal named Marina, perfectly good, but they, to be honest, even Panic, so seemed like they were doing a show, like they were, it was a job. Go perform, be good. The first guy was like clearly, holy criminy, I'm opening for Panic at the Disco, and like just having
Right.
a jolly good time, and
Yeah.
talking to the crowd, open. His songs, I'd never heard any of the songs before, but they were great and made me want to hear more. So good for Jake Wesley Rogers.
Mission accomplished.
And totally. But yeah, and honestly, the Marino one was kind of like, okay, fine.
Not your cup of tea.
Not really, but not bad either. I mean, it's very a lot of, I guess pop. But anyway, whatever. The Panic, he has such a good voice. They were very good. They, he had a bit more of a backing band. He had like a trio of strings, which my family loved because, they're all string players. And they actually thought that he could have and should have used the strings more. No surprise that they would think that. But he also had a couple of brass instruments too that came out, and which I don't know if you know his music very well, but
Yeah.
"Death of a Bachelor" when he did that, it's very kind of swingy, and it was just
Yep.
him and the brass out in the front, and he played the guitar for at least one song, if not a couple songs, and he played the piano for a couple of songs. And obviously he sang for all of the songs. So clearly no dearth of talent in that man.
Right.
So anyway, very, very much enjoyed. So that was Saturday. And then, I did lots of chore type stuff around on Sunday, and it was good. It was a good weekend. And my, my parents are here for a couple days, and then they're heading out actually tomorrow morning. So what is tomorrow? Thursday, to go see more family up in Washington. So
Okay.
but anyway, it's been a little busy. So yeah, I just got back tonight from a college essay writing workshop down at the high school. So, and then sitting and thumbing through Europe pictures for a while. We hadn't had a chance to do that yet since my parents had been here. So, walked them through our Europe trip this year, and which was fun, very fun. So
yeah, your event was indoors.
Yeah, it was not canceled.
Yeah, my boy had, and there are going to be clear nights fewer and further between as the school year goes on.
Yes.
And tonight was the perfect night to get out to see Saturn and Jupiter through the telescopes, but due to poor air quality, I'm assuming
Thank you, forest fires.
Yeah, the astronomy night was canceled, so we did not go do that tonight.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. But like you, I did large numbers of chores over the weekend, and even through today, I've been doing some home winterizing, turning off the water to the sprinklers, covering up the AC, kind of checking the yard, getting everything ready for when the rains
is coming.
When the rains come, yes. And then this weekend, we went to the pumpkin patch.
Oh,
which out in our neck of the woods, when we moved here, it was kind of like across the street was the other side of the urban growth boundary. So there was like just farms. And in the 20 years we've been here, the farms have slowly been going away, being replaced by housing. Subdivisions and high schools and all sorts of stuff. So included in that is some of the farms we used to go to. So now there's a new pumpkin patch we went to.
Did you come out to the Hoffman
one? A lot
of
fun. Yes, we went to the Hoffman farms. And we got, let's see, a blue pumpkin, a orange pumpkin, a yellow pumpkin, and a white pumpkin, and a green pumpkin. We went for colors. Yeah.
I think you might have to explain blue pumpkin to me.
I'm sure it's just some hybrid squash, but it's a very dusty blue. I'll take a picture and send it to you.
It's so kind of like a whitish.
Yeah, kind of like a dusty whitish blue. I mean, it definitely gives off a bluish hue.
Okay.
It's cool. Kind of cool.
Blue's not often found on gourds.
No. But yeah, they're on the front porch. So.
Okay.
And then for the break, my wife and I went and saw See How They Run. It's like in the movie theater. So I haven't seen the movie for a while. See How They Run. Great fun of a movie. It's kind of like a whodunit.
And who's in that? Sorry.
Sam Rockwell and Saoirse. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Saoirse. I think so.
And Sam Rockwell were kind of like the lead characters. It was a lot of fun. It was very British humor, kind of dry, and it kind of started a little slow, but it was fun. It was all about the Mousetrap, which is an Agatha Christie play that has been running in London's West End since the 50s. And there is a writer on this play that you can't make a movie out of the Mousetrap until 6 months have passed from the end of the run of the play. And so it's a movie about the play, not being able to make a movie about the play. Anyway,
funny.
It is fun. I thought it was great.
Okay.
So,
but you were not able to go to the Sherwood movie theater, I'm assuming.
No, we ended up in Bridgeport. So, a pleasant weekend, and I, got a lot done. The thing I had to run and do right before this was I'm using contact cement to glue a thin strip of metal to a backer board because I'm making a magnetic board out of leftover scraps from the kitchen remodel. So
Okay.
I've got my 90 degrees angles for my frames all cut. I need to do more because it's too big, so we need to shrink them a little bit. So,
I was going to say, what? It's hard to add length to
no,
a frame.
I'm making it smaller.
Okay. That's easier.
So, yes. So that's where I'm at. Anyways, it's been fun.
Okay. Very cool. That's awesome. Hey, I did actually, one of the things I did this weekend was fed the bees. All 8 hives are still alive, which is awesome.
Going into winter yet?
Well, the winter is coming. But there's bees in all the boxes. So
they have not swarmed.
Gave them probably my last feeding of the year. We'll see. I might give them a little bit more this coming weekend if they've eaten up everything I already gave them, but we'll see. But so far, yeah. I mean, obviously, we haven't even started winter yet, so who knows if they're going to survive. But right. At least none of them absconded this fall. So,
always a positive.
Yeah. Okay, so what'd you bring me for topics tonight?
So I brought 2 topics. One that is, we'll call it security adjacent.
Okay.
So the first one is... apparently Equifax, the credit score company, they have a bunch of products, and they have a product called the Work Number. And apparently Equifax has used the data from this, of the product of their own, to help them figure out how many employees at their company are holding down 2 different jobs. So something that's become popular during the pandemic and all the remote work is a thing called overemployment. People holding down 2, 3, etc. jobs. There's even a website, overemployment.com, I think. Overemployed.com. And so Wired did a whole article on this topic of overemployment. Anyways, so Equifax use their own data to find out, and because Equifax has tons of stuff on you. They have paycheck information, banking information, all your credit stuff. They have access to it. And so they're figuring that out. And they ended up firing 24 out of the 25 remote workers that they investigated for violating corporate policy. If you're holding 2 jobs and you have a bunch of unexplained absences, or you're not on the job, you're not, we're not getting the money we're not getting the worth that we feel you're worth to us out of you, the work we need out of you. So, which in the U.S. it doesn't matter because it's at will, right? Your employer can fire you at any time. There's really not a whole lot. You really don't have any recourse. So I wonder if this will help. I don't know. I'd heard about the overemployed, but I don't know if using the data and if this is going to, change as the economy shifts here in the next little while. So I thought it was an interesting idea.
What are the ethics of a company using data involuntarily given to do something for its own benefit like that? It's interesting. I mean, because your bank accounts and presumably your the balances on your bank accounts, balances on your credit cards, etc. I could absolutely see how you would be like, how's John getting 3 times the salary I'm paying him every month?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. But is that, it certainly seems, I mean, I'm not saying that overworking is ethical. That also is unethical, but this seems like an unethical use of data.
I wonder if this is going to kind of bubble to the top of the media mind here at some point. But anyways.
I'm going to guess no, but that's probably just because I'm feeling cynical.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's that one. A link to an Ars
So what was up with the 25th?
Yeah. The boss's son.
24 out of 25. The boss's son. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. That was a joke. Don't dock my paycheck. The second one that I saw was, it was not IoT, but it was interesting to me. It was a guy who recounted a project a proof of concept they were doing back up in 2012, I think, from Google. And the idea back then, so this is 10 plus years ago, before a lot of attacks, using a USB stick attacks were widely used or widely known. I suppose at the time everybody kind of understood that USB devices could be bad. I think that's probably also right about the time of the Stuxnet, where they dropped USB sticks just kind of littered around, and people picked them up and took them home. So those were like USB sticks that were meant to go into computers. This was an attack that was designed, that was using the USB only as charging. So they had designed a plasma globe that ran off USB. So you'd plug the USB into something, the wall socket or whatever, and it would light up and do its thing. Well, being a USB plug, it could also go right into a computer and power your fancy little globe. So there's some pictures, and it's a fun little recount of the Google Plasma Globe affair of 2012.
This is so cool.
Anyways, and it was, can we deliver a malicious payload from a USB device that is not meant, it's not a hard drive, just to register like as a keyboard. So anyways, it's a lot of fun. Read through it. They concealed the chip inside there. It talks about how, the various things he used to do that. Plugged it into a Mac, was able to send the malicious packet through to the computer.
This is so cool.
Anyways, so it was a fun kind of telling the story of how it worked. And there's even a GitHub link from Google that, according to this, tells the story, even though it gets some of the details wrong, and then shows some of the mitigations in the video. So there's a video that goes with it. Entertaining. I thought it was kind of fun. So maybe that should have been my something fun, but it was USB. This is
totally cool. This is totally cool. Okay, I was skimming it, but I got to read the whole.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I got to read the whole thing.
So there you go.
They did a polyglot.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Okay, all right. I want to read that article. Okay, that is both fun and security. So my topic today is is a little funny, I think. Scroll down in the notes till you can see the image that says you failed at crypto. So this is a Microsoft Office 365 message encryption, or OME, Office Message Encryption. It utilizes ECB, or electronic codebook mode of operation. And here's the NIST quote. In the NIST National Vulnerability Database, the use of ECB to encrypt confidential information constitutes a severe security vulnerability.
Ouch.
So, because the ECB mode of operation is generally insecure and can leak information about the structure of the message, which can lead to partial or full message disclosure. And it's essentially because the ECB mode of operation means that each block is encrypted individually, which means that if you encrypt the same thing twice, you'll get the same result. So you can basically side channel information about the text or encrypted data from the blocks. And especially if you can, get a large corpus of data gathered from, a single source, you could possibly even work out, what the actual image is or what the actual data is. But in particular for images, they clearly chose some images that would, you don't know what the actual image values are, but you can read the image. It's text.
Right.
And presumably, any image that had something similar, like, black on a white sign, or, I don't know, around here, there's lots of green signs with white letters on them. Presumably a lot of those would wind up having the same sort of values that, would wind up in the same output. So, and then the other problem with this is, the email protocol is an open protocol. And so any, and the encrypted emails encrypted with OME are sent as regular, email attachments, which means that if they're intercepted or stored and forwarded, any party between the sender and the recipient could have collected and then, developed a corpus of this. So,
right.
Not a good thing.
So you can either use message encryption or not. It really is the same thing.
Largely. I mean, I do want to be somewhat sensitive to the fact that, there's a difference between, sort of theoretical equivalency and actual equivalency. So I'll give you that there's like a tiny bit, but for a determined actor, not much.
Got it.
And there's solutions to this, right? This is not an unsolved problem. That NIST quote I read, there was a 2020 CVE about it, but I'm pretty sure that this has been known for years and years and years.
Sure.
And the other real problem is, you can use it or you cannot, is that Microsoft doesn't have a fix, really. The response from Microsoft, it says, quote, after repeated queries about the status of the vulnerability, Microsoft eventually replied with the following. The report was not considered meeting the bar for security servicing, nor is it considered a breach. No code change was made, so no CVE was issued for the report. The end user, this is not a quote anymore, but from the article, the end user or administrator of the email system has no option to enforce a more secure mode of operation. And since Microsoft has no plans to fix this vulnerability, the only mitigation is to avoid using Microsoft Office 365 message encryption. But I guess then you would use some other bolt-on. But I don't know. The thing that caught my eye obviously was the image.
Right.
You failed at crypto because cryptography is hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while since we berated people for rolling their own crypto. So, and this isn't them rolling their own, but
they didn't roll their own.
I know.
They used an inferior kind.
Yeah, the I didn't copy this out, but in the article there was a quote from the FIPS certification of Office, which how is it? How in the world is that certified? That was basically like, um, you know, OME is not isn't used. Sorry, what was it actually thing? There was a quote. Legacy versions of Office 2010 require AES 128 ECB, and Office docs are still protected in this manner by Office apps. Basically, we've had this here for 12 years or more, and we don't plan to change it.
Got it.
So, which is weird to me because if you're in FIPS mode, you're not supposed to be even able to use disallowed forms of encryption. So
Microsoft's big enough to get an exception.
I was going to say there are different rules for the big boys.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. Well, that was my article for tonight.
Okay.
How about something fun?
All right. So my something fun is funner for some people than it is for other people. Right? I think everybody knows somebody who is a mosquito magnet, call it. Mosquitoes like that person. Going places with my wife, she gets very irritated because she's like, why don't the mosquitoes bite you? And why do they attack me? And, the female mosquito will hunt down the human species to survive. And no one has figured out why some people are mosquito magnets. I mean, there's been theories like, well, is it your blood type or maybe the blood sugar level? Even things like it being a woman is more, attractive to mosquitoes. Children, like there's a bunch of popular theories about why you may or may not be a mosquito's preferred snack, but there has been very little data up until now. There's let's see, Leslie Vossel is the head of Rockefeller's Laboratory for Neurogenetics and Behavior, and her and Maria Elena de Obaldia, a former postdoc, went out to explore the leading theory about why mosquitoes like some people or another, which is individual odor variations connected to skin microbiota. And they have published their results and demonstrated through that study that there is a specific fatty acid emanating from the skin that creates a perfume that mosquitoes can't resist. So they have now scientifically proven that, yes, some people secrete an odor which is more attractive to mosquitoes than others. And it's kind of cool what they did. They studied the mosquito. There's two classes of odors that mosquitoes detect with different sets of odor receptors in the mosquito. They're called orcho and IR receptors. And they were trying to see if they could engineer mosquitoes that would be unable to spot humans. And so they would remove the orcho. Those were still attracted to humans. They removed the IR. They're still attracted to humans with varying degrees. So they didn't get those results. So it was mosquitoes still hunted down certain types of people. And they have blind subjects. There's been a study for the last 3 years of, people would get their odor and mosquitoes would go after them. And anyways, so fascinating study about the mosquito scent tracker, which apparently can't be beat, but maybe we can manipulate our own skin microbiomes, slather some of the stuff on people who are less attractive on people who are more attractive to provide a mosquito masking effect. I don't know. So I'm kind of half quoting the article here, but it was, I don't know. I thought it was cool. My wife saw this and said, scientific proof. I smell better than you do to mosquitoes. Okay. Sorry.
There you go. All right. I will have to share that with my wife as well. 'Cause, Yeah, they definitely. I am not unbothered by mosquitoes, but I am not bothered to the same extent.
Same.
All right. My something fun is scientists developed a system they call Dishbrain, and they taught Dishbrain to play Pong. And human brain cells in Dishbrain play Pong better than mouse cells in Dishbrain. How cool is this?
Those are all words. I have no idea how they connect to each other.
So, so they let's see. I didn't actually keep the notes out of this because I kind of wanted to surprise you a little bit with this something fun because I thought it was super fun. At the top of the article is a very slow game of Pong being played by about 800,000 brain cells, which is less, they said, than
brain cells in a petri dish.
Yeah, on a computer chip.
Huh.
Yes. And so they basically stimulate, like, how do you teach a bunch of brain cells to play a game? You reward them when they do the thing you want, and you punish them when they don't do the thing you want, and they gradually learn to do the thing that you want. So they said, let's see here, if we allow the cells to know the outcome of their actions, they will they actually be able to change in some sort of goal-directed way. So that's the sort of hypothesis. And then, so here's a quote from the cell. A layer of living neurons is grown on a special silicon chip at the bottom of a thumb-sized dish filled with nutrients. The chip is linked to a computer that can both detect electrical signals produced by the neurons and deliver electrical signals to them. To test the learning ability of the cells, the computer generated a game of Pong, a two-dimensional version of table tennis. I assume you played that when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They actually explain Pong here, which, okay, there you go. To allow the brain cells to play the game.
To the youngins in the audience who don't know Pong.
And this is even a simplified game of Pong because there's basically one paddle that they're moving and the walls bounce. So they just have to not let the ball get past them.
Right.
So it says to allow the brain cells to play the game, the computer sent signals to them indicating where the bouncing ball was. At the same time, it began monitoring information coming from the cells in the form of electrical pulses. We took that information and allowed it to influence the Pong game so that they were playing so they could move the paddle around. At first, the cells didn't understand the signals coming from the computer or know what signals to send the other direction. They also had no reason to play the game, so the scientists tried to motivate the cells using electrical stimulation, a nicely organized burst of electrical activity if they got it right, and when they got it wrong, a chaotic stream of white noise. So if they hit the ball, we give them something predictable. When they missed it, they get something totally unpredictable. So it says it's based on the free energy principle, which states brain cells want to be able to predict what's going on in their environment. So they would choose predictable stimulation over unpredictable stimulation. And it worked.
Huh.
So it says cells began to learn to generate patterns of electrical activity that would move the paddle in front of the ball, and gradually the rallies got longer. It said, interestingly, human brain cells seem to achieve a slightly higher level of play than mouse brain cells. And it says the level of play was remarkable considering each network contained fewer cells than the brain of a cockroach. It says if you could see a cockroach playing a game of Pong and it was able to hit the ball twice as often as it was missed, you would be pretty impressed with that cockroach, he says. So anyway. So there you go.
Not impressed with that cockroach. I would be frightened of that cockroach.
Well, they're I don't know. Wally.
I've got Men in Black playing in the back of my head now.
There you go. Yeah, those cockroaches. I was thinking of the one in Wally.
Yes.
Nothing alive but a cockroach. But anyway.
Fun.
It's coming.
So is that artificial intelligence or is that actual intelligence?
Artificial biological intelligence? I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you might also call that a neural network. But all right. And with that, I think we're done.
Yeah. Short one tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. It's been a busy week. So,
yeah.
All right, my friend. I will
have a good night, John.
I will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.